Last night got a lot of buzz, especially for a holiday week. All right, now you know the number, 1-844-968-7720. I want to talk to you off the top of the show, after I give you some food for thought. Look, I want to talk about why it got so much buzz, because the reason it got buzz is not what matters to me, and it's not what I think should matter to you. It wasn't that it was like, oh, Cuomo's back, he was giving it to this guy. That's not really my point, and I wasn't looking to give conservative radio host Bill Cunningham a hard time, that's for sure. I want to test what he's talking about because I think his position is ridiculous. But it's worth looking at because it really is a window into the game. Okay, and obviously the topic was Representative-elect George Santos. You know him by now. He's the guy who lied about almost everything in his life when running for Congress and was found out after he got elected. Now there are all these other investigations. I'll talk more to you about that. The guy's got trouble. But it's really about Cunningham and what he reflected in his arguments last night, specifically what he had to say after I exposed what are lies. Okay, Santos admitted these things, okay? And we talked about the parties and the game, and Cunningham's reaction really sparked the internet. And here's a piece of it.
Joe Biden said, I got into Annapolis. I went into the Naval Academy. None of it happened. He talked about campaigning in 54 states. None of it happened. He lied about inflation, lied about unemployment numbers. We had a president that said, read my lips, Chris Cuomo, no new taxes. We had a president who said in the Oval Office, guess what? He made it the Oral Office. We had a president that said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky, not one time. This thing is ripe with the stuff that you mentioned. A lot of BS in your opening remarks, but let's face it, George Santos represents American politics, the worst parts of American politics, but he's no different than Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the House Democrats, who is an election denier.
Cunningham said something in all that was true. Representative-elect George Santos is proof of the current state of our politics. He's like the poster boy. He's right about that. Now, everything else he said, I believe, is part of the problem. And a lot of it is just a matter of opinion. So it's not as easy as just saying he didn't have the facts right. That's not true. A lot of what he said is factually true. But I really appreciate that the segment resonated. I just wish more of you, one small point. It's a big point to me, but I know it's going to be a small point to you. I just wish you could disagree with someone like Cunningham on the basis of his argument and not trying to destroy him as a person. And I wasn't just being fake polite when I said to him last night that I enjoy him in a show and I want him to come back. I mean it. He has tremendous reach, and for good reason. And here's what you don't know. He's been generous with his time and with his assessments of me and on the show. And I appreciate that. And I value his arguments because a lot of people agree with him, even if I don't. So my problem is not with him. It is not personal. I'm happy to have him here. I'll have him again if he can make the time. And I love going on his radio show. My problem is that he is utterly committed to the game, you see. That's the problem. That's the problem with everything he said. Santos being a liar doesn't matter to Cunningham, not because he can prove that he didn't lie, but because he's on his team. There is no accountability in the game, only advantage. So the response to Santos from Cunningham, someone on the right, is to say, he's no worse than, and then name every Democrat you can. He went off about all the liars in politics, but did you notice he didn't say the name of who, without a question, is the biggest and most profound liar I have ever heard of in the office of president, and you know who it is. It is former President Donald John Trump. Not just the number, but the nature and quality. It's not even close. He didn't even mention him. Why? The game. And the game is killing us, and the only remedy is to change the game, and that is why I ask you to be free agents. Don't let parties debase your franchise and make it a meager who's worse war of attrition. That's what they do to you. That is why Santos matters. Now, look, investigatively, I told you the guy's going to have trouble, all right? The feds are on him for financial issues and other violations. You put stuff down on paper for the FEC, the federal forms, you're going to have a problem. But that's his problem, okay? Our problem is the lack of reaction from GOP leadership. That's the real problem. The yeah, but from people who just believe they've got to put party before everything else. Santos, yeah, but, you know, Bo Biden, Hunter Biden. Bo Biden, may he rest in peace. Nobody's going after that guy's character. But Hunter Biden, yes, and not without reason. But why is that the response to Santos being a proven liar? The game. And the response from the right that unless I say the same things about the left, unless Cuomo says right now, you know, but Biden's a liar too, so let's move on, then I'm biased. That's the game, okay? And here's why that is just a crazy thing to ask. It's absurd. Because you would never ask it anywhere else. And that's our saving grace. That's why I know we can do better than this two-party blood sport, because we do better everywhere else in our lives. This crap is a one-off. There's no other service that you hire or consider on the basis of, you know, this is my guy. Yeah, the other guy's probably worse. Never. I'll put my money here because the other bank, you know, they steal even more. I'll date this guy because, you know, I've had worse. It's a joke when someone asks you how something tastes and you say, I've had worse. But not in our politics. That's the basis of your decision. Would the Democrats look at Biden and his son if they were members of the GOP? Yeah. But that doesn't make it worth it to you. And no, I don't see that all the political investigations of Trump made us stronger or proved the power of oversight or the power of the law and nobody being above it. I think it reinforced the perverse logic that it is only wrong if the other side does it. Look at the positions that are being held, and they're demonstrable of my point. How do you get, as a Republican, to being pro-Putin instead of Ukraine? Pro-Putin? Why? Because the Democrats are for it. So you've got to be against it. And yes, Zelensky messed with Trump's fortunes to people on the right, so they don't like him. That's how it's okay that Governor DeSantis had his guy posing as some Clarice character from Silence of the Lambs in this Fugazi email, engineering a plot to use migrants as political pawns, and it's okay. That's how you get Democrats defending the Clintons, as Bill Cunningham talked about, through so much drama that they never would have allowed in the other party, ignoring riots in the George Floyd summer as protests, and being quiet when their fringe says stupid things about police and policing. Because it's the game. And you wouldn't do it anywhere else in your life, and you wouldn't forgive it anywhere else in your life. But you get silence now about Santos from the GOP. And yes, I have examples from both sides. You know why? Because they're both in the game. They're not equal offenders, not to me. Not to me. And it does not make me a lefty. I'm telling you that right now. You say whatever you want. You don't know me, okay? My brother is a Democrat. My father is a Democrat, okay? You don't know me. I'm telling you that. I test everybody. And my father's Democratic Party doesn't exist anymore. So it's not about some kind of personal family connection. It doesn't matter to me that the Democrats are not as corroded by opportunism right now as the Republicans are. One being worse than the other is just an indication that the dynamic doesn't work. That's why we don't fix anything. You don't think that people know how to fix the southern border to make it better and safer? Really? You and I could do it in a week if we had the purse strings. Problems are better weapons than solutions in this political game of who is worse. The problems work better for them. The GOP will be in power now. McCarthy will be their guy, and they're going to go after the Bidens. The core of this country does not want it. We see it in all the polls. The parties are going to do it anyway. You know why? Because they play to the fringe, because that's who gets them elected, because so many of you have decided to take a pass. That's why I speak to the core of this country. That's why we designed this show for you. You have to take a leap, and when you do, like we just saw in the midterms, the parties will start playing to you because they're afraid of you, because you have the numbers. That's why I ask for your resolution this year to be, don't put party first. Be an independent. Be a critical thinker. The parties were created despite the desires of our founders and leaders. They're found in no formative document. They're not in the law. They're not an animal of the law. They're an outgrowth of advantage and groupthink and our lesser instincts. What more do you need to know? They behave most often like you never would You would never pick anyone else of significance in your life, as too many allow in our politics. Santos is more average than aberrant in our game today because the game is played by people like him. Okay? I know you got a lot to say about it. I've said my piece. What do you think? Dusty?
Lots to say about this, the people. So we're going to start with William from Seattle, Washington.
William, what do you got?
Hey there. Yeah, no, thanks for giving Bill Cunningham his due time to show the total nut that he is. Now, it's so great, though. We have to have this dialogue. It's not the two-party system, I totally agree, is not getting anybody anywhere. It's just outrageous. The whole thing needs to be done from anew and from the get-go. It's just, everything is just, it's conflict. Nobody benefits. Nobody gets anywhere. We're back to square zero. So we need to re-envision, reimagine things so we can get the greatest common good for the most amount of people. And whatever needs to be done, something needs to change. If we want the better future, we have to act now.
Just start with you. Don't be about parties. Be a critical thinker. Make them come to you. Don't just jump, well, this is the Democrats, this is doing this, I got to take their side. Or this is the Republicans, I got to defend this guy because he's one of ours. Don't do that. George Washington said, be a nation. That is all. The parties are a cancer to that cause. Next.
Next, we have Bob from Florence, Kentucky.
Bob,
Hey,
happy
Chris.
almost New Year. What do you got, brother?
Yeah, you, man. Hey, I've been listening to Willie Cunningham for 40 years, right across the river here. So, I think he's a great entertainer, but he's an entertainer the same as Rush Limbaugh was an entertainer. And to me, Chris, I have no room for the Santos. I've been a Republican my whole life, and I have no room for Trump. I want good people in politics. The days of John McCain, I think, are long gone. But you know what? We can certainly do better than the people we've seen recently run.
You can do better if you allow better people to get in and not get destroyed by bad rules and bad games. Where it's just some personal gotcha contest to figure out what's in somebody's past and you don't focus on their ideas for the present and the future. But look, there is a long legacy of great Republicans and great Democrats, okay? I think that they were great leaders despite being Democrats and Republicans, not because they are. It is a badge that none of us need to wear. Just be a critical thinker, vote on your interests, and who's making the most sense on what matters to you. If you want to be on a team, save it for sports. Save it for, that kind of mindless attachment. For like Jets fans like me. I hate the Jets, but they're my team, and they'll always be my team. Marcus in the control room is going to take us to black right now because he's a Jets fan too. But save that for sports. All right, Dusty, you got another one?
I have another one. We have Phyllis.
Dusty's sick, by the way, but you see how she's here and doing the job for you anyway?
Do I look
Warrior.
that awful?
Warrior.
Do I look that terrible?
You look great. You look amazing.
A little snuffy, that's all. No virus. Oh, that's mean.
What? No, I was just testing my eyebrows.
Phyllis?
They used a new pencil on me tonight.
Whatever. And I just told you how cute you looked without a tie.
I know, but that was a dig at me wearing a tie. I know you. We've known each other for years.
We're going back to Kentucky, where my people are from. My father's from Kentucky. Phyllis from Winchester.
Which is why Alexandra is
Dusty.
called Dusty.
Right. So Phyllis from Winchester, Kentucky.
Yeah.
If Chelsea approves, Chelsea gave the nod.
Yes.
Otherwise, the call doesn't happen. Phyllis, how are you?
Yeah. I'm fine. How are you?
Never better. Is that it? We done?
No, we're not. Yeah. Hello?
Go ahead, Phyllis. What do you got?
Hello, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a 75-year-old woman, and I've been a Republican my whole life. I think it's clear as day that Santos should step down. And then after hearing Cunningham get on and defend him last night the way he did, well, guess what I did today, Chris? I changed my registration to independent, from a Republican
good for
to
you.
an independent.
Good for you. Good for you. Make them come to you. Don't let them take you for granted. that no matter what they do, you're going to be with them. Make them earn it. And I say that on both sides of the ball, okay? I talk to people a lot of times who are minority voters, and they ask good questions about, well, I've always been Democrat, we always vote Democrat, things seem to stay the same. I said, well, look, it's more complicated than just who leads on the local level, right? You got state, federal, but vote your interests. And if people don't do for you, then don't do for them. You're giving them the gift of your vote to serve you. It should not be the other way around, and it is too often. So I wish you the best. I don't want people just to leave one side. I think the game is killing us. And this show is for people like you that if you don't do the right thing, you're going to lose. And I appreciate you. And I wish you the best for the new year, and thank you for giving us a chance.